All right, hockey fans, welcome to an episode of Game Over Calgary. My name is Anand, and I'm your host. First time hosting this season. Hope everybody can hear me. Give me a hello in the chat or something like that. I have the chat open on the left hand screen so we can go through the chat live. Hope everybody can hear me. Welcome aboard. It's gonna be a fun post game show as the Flames take on the Rangers and defeat them by a score of 5-1, the most scoring game this season, the first win or second win of this regular season. And oh boy, it was an interesting game. We have lots to talk about. We'll start with the headlines to begin with, and then we'll talk about how this game went. I'm gonna go a little different than we usually do our game over post games today. We'll start with the headline. That was Mark Coronato was healthy. He's crashed tonight. We'll talk about a little bit that. We'll talk about your thoughts in just a moment. Then in the second period, we'll do some scoring summary and we'll talk about positive lines. And then in the third period, we'll talk about the road trip that's coming up. They have a four road trip. I believe that's a season high from what I heard on the Sportsnet broadcast. We'll talk about those 4 games and then end it with your thoughts and comments in the chat as well. We have Lazy Bear in the chat. Welcome aboard, Lazy Bear. Thanks for tuning in. We have Kristen Merrill as well. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome aboard. Hope you can stick around for the entire show. Share us your thoughts. But we are getting ready for an exciting one, which the Flames had trouble scoring, but somehow this changed. This game changed, and I don't know what to point it out necessarily for the positivity, but I hope this is a good sign moving forward. If you're on Team Tank, I believe there is good news on your front as well. The team will remain 32nd despite the win because San Jose Sharks have been on a tear. So I believe they will stay 32nd overall from what I've been hearing. The Rangers. Oops, I lost the check. Give me 1 sec. Okay, there we go. Tokai number 1. Welcome aboard, Tokai. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us always. Rangers should be ashamed. Indeed, they were such. I believe they have a 0-4-1 home record, which is nasty. And on the road, they were the better team till today. But then the Flames get it done today as well. So something weird going on hockey. We'll talk about all that in just moments time. But Tokai number saying Captain Gavin McKenna. We'll see where the search to Gavin McKenna gets through this season. But either way, much important game for the Flames, at least to get whatever was happening in the locker room or what was happening with the team. Maybe a little bit confidence booster, but at the same time, Flames fans once again who want to maybe tank have Gavin McKenna insights. Let's talk about the main headline. We'll talk about Mac Coronato being scratched tonight. Healthy is crashed. I will look at this 2 different ways. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. I have the chats open, and as well I have thoughts to share, and then we'll go from there. KQ, welcome aboard. Good to see you as well. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And we have a Rangers fan in the chat as well. You're already good. W. The Rangers are cooked. Let me know, Rangers fans, how you think they're cooked, why they're struggling. We'll cover that in just moments time. But I thought Igor Shesterkin, I heard he was the best NHL goaltender to date so far. But somehow he struggled as well tonight. We'll talk about scoring summary and all that just a moment's time. But to our biggest headline tonight, Matt Coronato. Health is crashed. I'll take a look at it this 2 way. He, of course, did struggle a few games, especially versus the Winnipeg Jets last game, where the Flames took a defeat by a score of 5-3. And Ryan Husker in his pre-game chats or on the media said it was a small reset or a catch breather for him. Of course, you can understand that. Mark Coronato, his journey, he went down to the AHL, came back to the NHL, went back down again, came back. So instead of doing that, maybe healthy scratching him. Maybe it was a good game just to see the place, see if they can put forward a sign to him saying the team was struggling. But at the same time, Coronato has been excellent against New York teams. So, was there a point to scratch? Maybe. Maybe not. Could you have waited maybe for a game down the road where you could have maybe used an extra forward to put in on, especially back to back on the road trip coming up? Possibly. But New York teams, Coronato is always great against. Could you have maybe scratched maybe a Frost or Farabee? But now they had good games tonight. I don't see it happening. We'll see how that goes. So that's my two takes on that. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Mac Coronato front. Once again, the biggest headline coming into this morning was Mac Coronato health is crashed. NYR, nobody says Lomberg is a beauty. I legit love that guy. Yeah, Lomberg is amazing. Can block shots. You saw that today. Lomberg, yeah, Lomberg blocked shots today. He was all over the ice. He had a great chance with Adam Klapka. So all good signs for Ryan Lomberg. They had a good game. I think all four lines had a decent night tonight, especially Sharangovich, who was healthy, scratched for 2 games. So going back to Christian Merrill's point, I trust Husker on that one. So maybe like Sharangovich got the 2 game treatment. Maybe Mac Coronato gets one. Um, we'll see. Tokai number 1 says Jake Bean's dad is controlling who gets crashed. I believe I heard Jake Bean's dad retired already. So I don't know how much he's involved in making those decisions. I'm guessing it's between Ryan Husker and Craig Conroy who makes those decisions. But I don't know how much more involved is Jake Bean's dad. Not that I know of. I believe he has already retired or resigned, however you want to look at that. Alright, other headlines within the game itself. Wolf Master class as always. Especially, I think the save of the game for me goes out of that when Zibanejad, apologies if I mispronounce, came out of the box from the penalty, went post to post, Dustin Wolf, and made uh, much more important saves. Zane Perek on the power play one has been great as well, making crisp passes, keeps the power play dynamic. Have had a couple chances on both power plays. And maybe you could have said Zane could have been on the power play one sooner, but again, it's just game 9 or 10. It has been great, and we have seen signs of great power play. Hope it improves. I don't think they scored on the power play today. They did score a beautiful shot and a goal, which we'll talk about in just moments' time. But Zane Perek has made such a difference quarterbacking the power play, which has been amazing. One other thing, poor Sam Honzek, he can't buy a goal. He had an opportunity on the short-handed opportunity. He had one chance with Backlund and Coleman, but poor guy found it on the post and couldn't bury anything, and is still searching for his first NHL goal. From my eyes, I think this is the best game Kadri and Coleman has played. Kadri to open the scoring. He opened the scoring against the Winnipeg Jets as well. And Coleman, fantastic 2 goals tonight. We'll talk about the scoring summary in just moments time. But KQ is asking why was Bison's crash tonight? Mac Cononato. Ryan Husker said he was struggling for the part of the couple of games, and he just wanted to give Coronato a reset slash catch his breath. So hopefully the Flames are back in action on Tuesday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hopefully we see Bison back then. But hopefully it's just a one game. I have my curious thought though. Good question though, Kiki, on that front. I have my curious thought though, because they won tonight. Will he put Coronato back in? Usually he doesn't like to change anything after a win. So we'll see if that impacts anything. But it just said it was a one game in his presser. So we'll find out what the consequence on that's gonna be. Beat the Pop, welcome in. Thanks for tuning in. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. The Flames won tonight, which I believe is much good news on whatever was troubling them. And yeah, we'll see if they can continue this trend. And if you're on the team tank front, you have good news as well. I believe the Flames are still placed 32nd overall. If you're in search for like a Gavin McKenna superstar, if you are that team, you're still placed 32nd because of how hot San Jose Sharks have been. So we'll see what gets evolved during this 4 game road trip coming up. Um, let's see. Maxim says Ryan Huska. He's in fan of Ryan Huska's coaching job, which I believe fairly some people are not. It depends how you want to take at it. But yeah, we saw Mac Coronato health is crashed tonight. All right, let's go into second period. Do check out the other of our good game over networks as well. Um, we'll talk about the scoring summary, positive lines, and much more. So we'll start with Kadri, who opened the scoring for the Calgary Flames on a 1-0 goal, assisted by Hanley and Jonathan Huberdeau. That was a really good pass as Kadri was entering the zone, found his snipe, and shot it at the 142 minute mark. And that was fantastic from Kadri. In the second goal, 2-0 Ball. Kevin Ball, who hasn't scored in a while, gets a goal going, assisted by Morgan Frost and Nazim Kadri at the 9:21 minute mark. Great shot from Ball right down the center lane and makes it a 2-0. Then the only goal that the New York Rangers will get 10 seconds later, Laba assisted by Gavrikov and Cooley at the 9:31 minute mark, where the Rangers cut their deficit into one 10 seconds after Kevin Ball scored. And that will make 2-1 for the New York Rangers. Then it was all Calgary Flames, 3-1. Yegor Sharangovich, assisted by Joel Farabee and Connor Zary at the 12:28 minute mark. In the second period, and that will come from Sharangovich, his first one after, like I said, being scratched for a couple of games. Then at 4-1, a short-handed beauty in the third period. Then the next 2 goals come in the third period. A short-handed goal from Coleman, assisted by Backlund at 6:42 in the third period. And that beauty was tagged by Backlund and Coleman. And great dangle by him. Made a pass right in front of Yegor Shesterkin. and scored their goal. And the last one, Coleman as well, assisted by Backlund again. Third period, what a snipe on that play. They originally thought it went up Michael Backlund, but instead it was Blake Coleman who got that last touch in from that snipe. And that will do it. 5-1 the score for the Calgary Flames. I liked all the four lines tonight so far. Each of the lines had great momentum. Whether it's starting with the Kadri, Huberdeau, Frost line, they were doing great. Frost had a point, Kadri had a point, Huberdeau had a point. Then we move on to the Honzek Backlund, a Coleman line. Honzek, poor guy, is a bit snake bitten. We'll see how that transitions. Hopefully, he can get a first NHL goal, maybe next week in Toronto if he travels with the team. That is, of course, Backlund and Coleman. We had Yegor Sharangovich, Farabee, and Zary. That line worked really well. I've been loving how Zary goes down the center. He has been great at that role. And then to end, last but not the least, Lomberg and Klapka, that line worked as well. Kirkland, I believe, took a couple of face-offs that he won as well. So all four lines kind of dominated tonight. And there was not many defensive lapses as well. Maybe you can talk about the Laba goal for the New York Rangers where they made it 2-1. That goal, there was a short defensive breakdown from Connor Zary, but apart from that, not too much to complain about. Where the Flames took this by a score of 5-1. So that will do it for our scoring summary. We'll move on to the third period now. We'll talk about the season high road trip coming up. It's a 4-game road trip that starts on Tuesday in Toronto against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Note the time, it's a 4 p.m. puck drop. It was originally at 4:15 Mountain Time or 6:15 Eastern Time, but it got moved up to 4 p.m. just because the World Series is happening. If you're a Blue Jays faithful, go Blue Jays go. And that's where we stand at. Then on Thursday, they take on the Ottawa Senators. I believe that's a 5 p.m. puck drop. Then on Saturday and Sunday, it's a back-to-back in Music City at Nashville Predators. And then to close out the road trip in Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Flyers. So looking at that road trip, I have a few questions for the chat. Put them through. We'll work through them towards the end of overtime or right away as the chats come in. But the first question is, we need to see Devin Cooley at some point in net, whether it's the game on on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday or Sunday. Where do you put him is a quick question. Do you go against Toronto Maple Leafs? I know Dustin Wolf struggled early on his career against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Do they go for that? Thursday in Ottawa Senators, or do they go on the back-to-back maybe against Philadelphia Flyers? It will be a good test, and we'll wait and see if on Sunday against the Philadelphia Flyers, if Dan Vladar will get the start. It will be a good test. Dustin Wolf versus Dan Vladar. That will be fun to watch. So, which of these days does Cooley get the start? I would say put him against on Tuesday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Give him a test. He has been amazing the past couple of days. Maxim says start Cooley all games so we can tank. I guess, why not? You need to eventually give Cooley a chance. When does that happen? It's a question to see. I don't make that decision. It's the Flames that does. Another question is, does Pahal get a chance to be a defender at some point again in this road trip? Because he has been sitting out for a handful of games now with Jake Bean and Uyghur, Ball and Anderson, Hanley and Perek, which have been great defense pairs. It has worked so far. But does Braden Pahal get a chance somehow, somewhere? Who needs a rest? Who is willing to play in their offside? We'll find out. Another topic of discussion we could talk about is if Martin Pospisil isn't ready to go, which I don't think he is. I don't think he has started skating with the group. Do they carry an extra person? I know they called Dryden Hunt a couple of days ago, but sent him back down without playing him on the Winnipeg road trip. Do they do Dryden Hunt again? Or do we see maybe perhaps Matway Gridden called up? I would love to see Matway Gridden again, or maybe a Rory Cairns, but again, Rory Cairns have the waiver eligibility. He will have to go through waivers if he gets cleared. So I wonder if a Gridden call up is in the near future. And referring back to the question that I brought back into the first post game through the first period, who comes out of the lineup if they put Coronato back? Maybe they put Kirkland out, and maybe they put Frost back at center. We'll see if they can do that. We'll see if maybe Frost is a healthy scratch. Maybe that's a possibility. Lots to think about on that front. Cooley starting against the Leafs. Ball never going to play. I don't see that Tokai number one. Jake Bean's dad will see to it. We'll see if that's true. We are 2-7-1. Nothing has worked so far. A little promising today. We'll see if things can get turned around. But yeah, it has been a struggling start. And many faithful fans are looking for that high elite draft pick. Whether if it's in the form of Gavin McKenna, Carter Verhoff, or Stemberg. Alright, KQ with a question that was gonna get asked eventually. I knew it was coming from someone, but we will address that coming up in overtime, so stick around. But so far, what we covered, if you're just joining us, we talked about Coronato being healthy scratched. We talked about the scoring summary. A 5-goal improvement for the Calgary Flames. They have somehow found some life in scoring. And then the road trip coming up. Coming up next for the Flames is the Toronto Maple Leafs on Tuesday. It's a 4 p.m. puck drop Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And now we switch over to fourth period overtime to answer the question I was going to eventually get. KQ is asking, am I on Team Tank or Team Playoffs? You know, KQ, I've been thinking about this question. I'm going to give two different answers. And welcome to Bing Bong as well. So I'm going to wait until maybe we hit the November middle part, which is like US Thanksgiving. I believe that's a fair estimate timeline to see where the Flames will sit. With the way they have struggled so far, I'm happy to be on Team Tank, just so the Flames can get a superstar, whether it's a McKenna or somebody else. Because the Flames haven't got a top 3 or maybe even 5 in many long time, or maybe even never in the franchise history. Of course, bearing in mind I'm a new Flames fan, I haven't gone back and looked at all the drafts. But from what I can remember, and I know the Flames need that one superstar, especially seeing them run by Vegas last week. Winnipeg Jets coming back and scoring to win 5-3. If it's not for McKenna, a top 3 draft would do good. But right now, I think it's a little too early to say fully decided am I team tank or team playoffs. We'll wait until the right time comes. I think ask me around the November middle. I'm sure all of you will be around again to get my answer. So stick around. I'll have an answer for you. But I think I'll evaluate around the middle of the November. We have got some key pieces already, like the Dustin Wolf, Zane Perek. Now we need a couple forward pieces, like Tokai number 1 just said. The Flames need 2 superstars. If they can get that, the New Scotia Place opening will feel good. Let's rewind through the chat, and we'll call it a day. Thank you all so much for spending the time here in this evening as the Flames win 5-1. Coming up next is the Tuesday Toronto Maple Leafs road trip. We'll start with Lazy Bear and Kristen Merrill, who was there at the beginning. New York Rangers fan who said the Rangers are cooked. Hope it turns around for you. The Flames were cooked at one point. I wonder if this is a small lifeline that things can get better. Tokai number 1 says, we talked about how Jake Bean's dad may be involved, according to Tokai number 1. Beat the Pop joined in. Maxim says we are 2-7-1 and nothing has worked so far. Yeah, we have had trouble scoring. Power play has gotten better though, I'll say that, especially with Zane Perek on power play number 1. We'll see if Huska decides to keep him there longer. I would love to see that. And finally, Tokai number 1 is predicting Cooley starts against the Leafs. And KQ with the most important question, are you on team tank or team playoffs? I said I'll give an answer towards the closer to November. Alright, that will do it. Thank you so much, KQ. Thank you so much, Tokai number 1. And all of you else who joined. I believe on Tuesday I'll be back. Conrad will most likely be back. We'll see if we can do a guest show together. Or if not, we'll figure it out over the off airs. On behalf of Conrad Krausert and myself, Anand Unnithan, thanks so much for watching Game Over Calgary. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And recommend this program to all of your friends. I really appreciate the support. And we'll catch you back on Tuesday when the Flames take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And last point, Zane Perek probably needs more time in the minors. I'll add to that point, Zane is getting better from what he started the season. I feel like he's becoming more confident. So I don't know if going back to the minors is an option just yet. Like, I don't think he will go back to the queue. But unless maybe they process the AHL rule, maybe I can see him going back to the AHL. But I don't think that's getting in effect this season. So I'm going to say he stays up with the big club for the foreseeable future unless something else warrants it. Hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, please do subscribe, like, and share it with all your friends. And we'll be back on Tuesday against the Toronto Maple Leafs in when the Flames start a huge 4-game road trip. Have a good night, take care, and enjoy your new week. My name is Anand, and I'm your host of Game Over Calgary.